Sunday night music scene. Tim and Tony and Tim, and Cooper Greer in the house.
What's going on, y'all?
Good to have you back, man.
It's good to be back.
I missed you that time. I never.
Last time
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't get a chance to see you when we were out.
Yeah, it was cold weather last time you were here.
What was it, like January probably?
Sometime back then, it's been a while.
Back before all the COVID madness started up.
Yeah, back before that. And of course, everything is, like you said, madness, man. It's madness. So.
It's a wild world out there, that's for sure.
So if you can't tell, we're at Weldon Mills again Saturday night, not Friday night. The last time we were at Weldon Mills with Eric Dunlop. Are you familiar with Eric?
Yeah, I met Eric a couple times. He's gone to a couple shows and hung out with us and stuff. Good guy.
He's a very good guy, So, but Cooper Greer in the house. Now we have two of your originals. The most recent that I got that we play on What's Happening Entertainment Radio is Radio.
Right on. Nice.
I like it, man. It's like I couldn't even begin to go. Well, wait, come on, let it out.
You gotta save that for a little bit later on tonight.
Ooh, wait, no, I'm not the guy. I'm a one shot and done kind of guy. So you're not going to see me doing shots acting
He's a
stupid.
lightweight, man.
They were trying to get me drunk downstairs. They had us down there sampling stuff, and there was like just one little shot glass after another coming at me. I was like, man,
we get them fools.
Yeah,
The ladies at the bar like you.
Well, I mean, I hope they like me. I didn't miss my drink strong. You know what I mean? I got me drinking some pink. What is it? Rhubarb gin.
I have not had that yet.
It's actually pretty good. Like she gave me a shot of it. I was like, that's gotta be good with Sprite. So we tried it. It's actually really good.
It's very good with Sprite. I tell you.
Another.
What do you think about our other concoctions here?
I really like the caramel apple.
That one's a big.
Well, the
caramel
Washington's very good.
is like that was spot on. And then the soldier's cut, I haven't got to try it like on ice, like or an old fashioned. But that's definitely the next bottle I get. I'll probably get a bottle of that before I leave. Honestly,
Hey, look,
that's good stuff.
Exactly. I tell you who really gave it a big rating. Our buddy RT.
Really?
RT said, man, that's got to be some of the best whiskey ever.
It was good stuff.
And I think he did drink about a bottle that evening.
Yep.
I can see RT doing it.
RT can drink a little bit.
Yeah, well.
I've had the pleasure of drinking with him a couple times.
Yeah, RT is a whiskey drinker for sure, man. He knows good whiskey when he drinks.
Well, that's where the Fireboarder came from. His song.
Okay.
Kick-ass song. Fireboarder, RT!
That is a great song.
It is. I know. I think we were like a couple songs behind him. But let's get back on you. Now you have two originals or more?
I've got 4 originals out right now.
Oh, geez, we only have 2.
I gotta get y'all up to date.
Yeah.
But we've actually got a new one coming out. I'm thinking the release date, if everything goes well I want to, is going to be September 23rd, and we're going to push it. It's called Background. And see, I always grew up listening to rock music, and I'm a big fan of rock music, even though obviously my voice is a little more suited for country.
Right.
But I got into this Texas rock country kid.
Right.
And started listening to a bunch of it. So I wrote a song that's kind of like, imagine a country song and a rock song got married and had a baby. This would be that.
Okay.
So this is the new song that's coming out, and we're attaching it. I'm going to
Sounds like
attach
the Van Zandt Boys doing something like
something a little different.
Yeah.
But for me, I like experimenting around with music. Like every single one of my singles that we put out so far have been completely different from the other one.
Right.
And it's just because like music isn't really meant to be kept in a box. Like you should, you know what I mean? If you like rock music, play a little of this, play a little of that, kind of
Always.
figure out where your sound lies at.
Right.
That's like people like Eric Church and Johnny Cash. Like they've crossed over. Like Eric Church has got his rock and roll stuff. He's kind of country too. Johnny Cash is the same way. He was over several different genres of music.
Kid Rock.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I see myself being with it one of these days. So we got that new single coming out, and I'm also attaching with it. We're gonna do like a 2-pack deal, and I'm gonna release this other song that I'm not told anybody about. Nobody's gonna know the title of it until it comes out. But there's gonna be another song released along with that one. So you gotta download the one song to get the other one.
There you go.
We're gonna release a 2-pack deal, hopefully September 23rd if everything goes well.
Nice.
Very nice, very nice. Well, I hope you send it to us. In fact, we offer this to a lot of our local independent artists. If you get the song to us, we'll do a What's Happening debut of it.
Okay.
If there's no video, is there going to be a video as well? With
There
it?
will be a video for that one right off the bat. What we're gonna do is I'm probably gonna drop a video of the The surprise song is going to come out shortly afterwards.
Nice.
Trying to throw people off a little bit, make them work for a little bit.
Music, scene, content, woo!
That's what we live for, man.
We do
just
live
need
for
But yeah, definitely, I try and get, with everything this time around. Usually I haven't done a bunch of like press releases and done a bunch of stuff with it. I'm just kind of throwing it out there and let it be what it's going to be. This time around, especially with the COVID thing going on, got a lot of time on my hands. I'm not playing every single, night, so I have time to actually go out, sit down, do interviews, send everybody what they need to get. So we're going to do something a little different with this one. So we're trying to get maybe another interview in or something like that with you guys, or at least get to y'all.
Yeah.
Well, we can wrap a show around it when the next video comes out. In the meantime, with just the MP3 of it, just the audio, we'll tack it on to an end of the music scene.
Okay.
Because it's radio video.
Sweet.
Radio is a lot more listeners. Video is a slow crawl. YouTube.
Yeah.
I tried DTube and I don't like it.
DTube?
Yeah, there's a DTube out there. There's a couple of YouTube alternatives.
Huh.
But a lot of the other two operate in Bitcoin.
Really?
No, they don't stick you in the back like YouTube does as much with monetization and stuff. But it just...
It's like listening to a song and getting an ad right in the middle of it.
I have no idea. Plus, do you know that half your stats are probably hidden?
Really?
Yeah, there's a trick I'll tell you later. Because if I tell them, they'll be like, "He said that 2 weeks ago. Get new material, dude." And I hate when they do that. So I can tell you how to back it out.
Okay.
So you can filter in more stats.
Yeah, I'd love to check it out. Like I said, I play guitar and write songs. So as far as all the tech side of everything, I'm learning it as I go. I'm trying to do everything in-house, trying to do everything myself rather than running through a record label. Turned down a couple small record deals. I am meeting with a couple people in Nashville next weekend that are not necessarily people that are, record labels that are trying to take over, people that are going to be parts of the bigger machine.
The wheel.
But I want to build this to be my own in-house company one of these days, and eventually the retirement plan, once everything's said and done, is to be able to help other artists get started and stuff. So when I'm 60 years old, I don't want to be on the road anymore. I'm able to sit there and write. Well,
is he a music artist? He's got a business plan. He's got a retirement thing going. Yeah, I love it. Most people are like, "Well, what are you going to do next week?" I have no idea.
Well, that's the majority of people, no matter what they do. Right now, the biggest plan for anybody is, no, I don't have retirement. I'll work till I die.
Yeah.
That's me, dude. I'll be working till I die.
Yeah, I put my retirement plan in place, so I want to make sure I had something there so that I can just, when it reaches that age, I'm done with it.
I don't like your attitude.
Somebody told me a long time ago. They said you don't live to work, you work to live. And I'm a firm believer in that. I've got a little spot down in Belize that I'm.
Buy a car.
Oh, nice. I got a little spot down in Belize that I'm planning on retiring to. The U.S. dollar's like worth double there. So whatever your retirement fund is here, you just go down there. It's twice as much. You can live it up. You get a little job. Because I'm the kind of person, I gotta have something to do. I got something to do.
It's like sitting with Trace Atkins when he's 50. I'm in my place in Belize.
I'm making big plans. That way, if I fall short, I'll still be all right. You know what I mean?
I love it, man. I love it. But all right. So video coming out now. The video you sent me. What was that video? I'm sorry.
To Be Loved, right?
Oh, what a smoking video. Who was the girl?
She was actually an actress that we hired out of. She was out of Raleigh.
Really?
Yeah, that was somebody, because we really didn't have anybody to do the part right off the bat. And the guy that produced the music video, he's like, "Hey, I got a girl to come do it." And I was like, "All right, cool deal." So we got everything together. And we actually shot all of our stuff in like 45 minutes because me and him did all the other stuff. And she was running late, and I had a show to go to. And so she showed up, and we shot that scene like one take, and then that was it.
Wow.
That's good.
What does an actress charge for that? I'm just curious.
I have no idea.
Because if it's affordable, I'll call her up.
So how long
with her?
That video got me in a lot of
to
trouble.
actually shoot your video?
To actually shoot the whole video, probably like 8 hours.
It's not too bad.
And that was, we changed locations and we shot there were several different scenes that we shot that aren't in the video.
Right.
We went through and just basically picked the good stuff out and,
That's
decided.
usually the way it goes. I mean, you always have to pick up a bunch of footage just to see where you're going to be at. Because I know, you take when Eric Dunlop did Back to the Country, that was an all-day thing for them.
Yeah.
I mean, they had several different locations. They actually, used a drone to take part of it because there was a pickup truck traveling down the highway. There was him in the truck, that kind of thing.
The left side of my nose is in his music video.
Oh,
I saw
yeah?
it, it was shining.
we were in the dark when we were the extra second.
We've actually got whenever we do this next music video, the idea behind it is we're gonna keep it simple. It's gonna be just, I can't give too much away, but it's gonna be the most like stripped down, just as real as it gets kind of music video. It's not gonna be a whole bunch of like production and stuff. It's gonna be with the guy that's doing it is obviously great at what he does.
Right.
But we're gonna keep it, I mean, just super simple because like I think that's the best way to do it. Is to get straight to the point of what the song is. It's kind of even like with the last one. There's not a lot going on. There's this scene here and then there's the other scene there, and that's it. But that's the entire story of the song is all wrapped up.
Bar bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Bar bed. Yes, I got it all figured out.
Yeah,
It's one of my short range goals.
You know, back in the 80s when the rise of the music video was just the biggest thing.
Mhm.
Okay, you know, it was, what was it, either 1979, 1980 when MTV actually took off. And the thing was, is some people actually did good with the videos, and it told the story of what the song was, and then some, the video didn't even fit the song.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them just did it raw, where you saw them in the studio the whole time,
Yep.
with a few outside scenes maybe, but then you had those that you just saw them like supposedly on stage doing something, didn't even take it.
Well, how about Money from Nothing but Dire Straits? One of the first videos played on there. It was like weird, you know?
Mhm.
I mean, I like the whole
They
story.
already got weird because if you remember on MTV, the first video that was ever played on MTV
He's Mr. Trivia.
was by the Buggles. Video Killed the Radio Star.
Huh.
That was the first video that
It may have
that
actually.
went online. That was the absolute first video.
Huh.
It's very poignant.
I did not say that.
Yeah, that
No
was.
video did kill the
And
radio
that
star.
song was actually released in 1979.
He's old.
That's good. Imagine like the foresight that took to write that song. The video killed the radio star, and like we finally probably reached a point now that that's actually true. Like that, it's definitely true. You
Yeah.
know, obviously, like radio is nowhere near as big as YouTube and this and that and the other. But back then, that wasn't even close to what was going on yet. But there was like a huge amount of foresight that it took to write that. That's-
true. And you take now, MTV is not, it's not MTV anymore.
I've been watching it in probably 20 years.
MTV used to be
Do
just.
you watch MTV?
Back to back.
I haven't watched MTV since they stopped playing music videos.
Exactly.
They stopped playing music videos?
Yeah,
Well, the only-
MTV, music
If
television.
you want to see older music videos that were real music videos, you have to go to MTV Classic or something.
Mhm.
That's what you're going to see. Because it came out, you had MTV, then came VH1, then you actually had TNT,
Mhm.
National Network. That was great channel, and that no longer exists. Then you had CMT, and CMT fell by the way of like MTV did. And in fact, I think that's called Paramount or something like that. GAC is showing movies that don't contain the country, man. Things, people started trying to pull in ratings because they knew that people were just letting it play.
But that's the big problem. A lot of the big problem. Kind of music that's going on. Like, don't get me wrong. I like all kinds of music. I like rock music. I like country music. I like a little bit of rap music.
Right.
I don't have any particular genre that I'm just attached to. But there's a quality issue with a lot of the music we have today.
It is.
There's not a lot of a story to it. It's just like a hook over and over kind of deal. And the whole thing about that is like, there's no, I forgot where I was going with this.
Originality?
Exactly. Like everybody's doing it for ratings. It's because they saw this guy over here and he did this. It worked really well. So now he's going to do as close to that as he can without having copyright issue. And like for me, that's never like I said earlier, everything I write is completely different because who cares? Like I'm putting out the music that I want to put out.
Right.
And if my fans and the people around me like it, that's great. But if not, at the end of the day, I'm not going to put out a product that I don't like.
Well, that's the way to be. I mean, the thing is, and see, you're one of the people that I admire because you have artistic talent, you have a voice, you have musical talent. Have you ever looked at some of these people now trying to do something they don't have a voice for?
So they make auto-tune for you.
Still, you don't have these musicians that had these incredible ranges like they used to have.
Yeah.
You take back when, okay, everybody everybody took their swipe at hair metal. You had bands just came out of the woodwork more and more and more. You even had one-hit wonders come out of it. The thing was, is these guys still had these incredible vocal ranges.
Some of them did, yes.
And
Well, hair metal was like, who can sing the highest and who can do the most cocaine. That was,
pretty much,
And
yeah.
played the guitar the fastest.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like, there's some of those songs that will always, even as simple as something will be, like, if you actually sit back and listen to them, there's actually something going on there. There's actually a meaning to it. There's a lot of songs you actually have to go look up and see what the meaning to it was, but there's actually more of a meaning than just what you hear in that song.
Oh, hell, sometimes you have to look up just to know what they're saying. Because
You
I
know,
always
one
say
thing-
something, they're saying something different.
One big thing you can kind of attribute to rock was the DC and G chord progression.
I mean, it's country too.
I mean, but the thing is if you listen, you take Sweet Home Alabama, that is what it is.
Mhm.
It is the DC and G chord progression.
Oh, yeah.
And you take Knocking on Heaven's Door, that's what it
If
is.
you really want to be honest with music, it's like, and I see this a lot of times, is really good musicians can out-musician themselves.
True.
You end up having these great, like there's some very well-respected musicians, especially in the rock music scene. They have these songs that have 15 chords in them. And while musically it's great and it's a huge talent to be able to work music theory around like that, be able to string all that together and make it make sense, it's not very listener-friendly.
Right.
And so that's where the 3 chords and the truth kind of thing comes from, because people, like 3 or 4 chords, that's all that most people that aren't musicians are going to keep up with. That's all they're really going to, they want a good hook, they want to be able to listen to it, and they want to touch
That's
to
what
it.
the ear is gonna actually tune into.
Right.
They tune into a beat, they tune into a rhythm, they tune into sort of just a sound that keeps.
But there's fan music, and then there's musicians' music.
Right.
In a lot of people's eyes, you know what I mean?
That musician's music is gonna be, basically, I mean,
It's gonna be that weird stuff nobody else listens to.
it's gonna be guys like me, when they sit down at the piano, I sit down and I play Beethoven, Bach, Mozart, the classical stuff, where it's just, it can get complicated.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
That's like, I mean, everybody sees me play country music on the basis. What they don't see is all like, I mean, like, even like breaking, like, I'm like into like breaking rhythm and 3 Days Grace, rock music like that. A lot of that stuff I play at home for fun.
right.
And nobody, you know what I mean, given your image and stuff, what you do for a living is country music, nobody really gets that. And I can't go out and pull that off for a show, but it's still fun for me, and that's what I love.
Because if you were to do that, you'd be like, what is this about?
Yeah, it's not the appropriate setting, I guess you could say.
So,
All right, look, we got to go to break. We'll be back with more Cooper Greer. Go ahead, introduce your video. We're going to play it again.
All right, y'all, my name's Greer Interview. Y'all go check out my video, To Be Loved Right. It's available on YouTube and any other platform you can get music on.
Here it is right now.
Baby, come on over, slide a little closer, take a sip, let me put my hands all over you. Girl, you know I love the way you do the things you do. Got your body on my body, your skin upon my skin. These feelings that I'm getting, girl, they come from deep within, and I want you. In my bed undressed, you know I can love you best. Ain't nobody got a body like you. Oh no, love you all night long. Love you steady, love you strong. Girl, you know you really got it going on. Gonna lay you down, love you right until we see the morning light. Make him lie next to you right by your side. Yeah, all I wanna do is get to holding you, show you what it feels like to be loved right. Girl, you look so good in the early morning sunlight. Everything you say, girl, you got me feeling just right. Every move you make, girl, you're blowing my mind. Come on, let me love you like I did last night. In my bed undressed, you know I can love you best. Ain't nobody got a body like you. Oh no, love you all night long. Love you steady, love you strong. Girl, you know you really got it going on. Gonna lay you down, love you right until we see the morning light. feels like to be loved right. Yeah, to be loved right.
Are you planning a trip to Ahoskie, North Carolina? Well, if you are, whether business or pleasure, the Tomahawk Motel on Academy Drive in Ahoskie should be your only choice. We offer a clean and comfortable experience from check-in to check-out. The Tomahawk offers tons of amenities and a convenient location for your Ahoskie stay. We also proudly offer military and AARP discounts and even have pet-friendly rooms available. Please visit us at tomahawkmotelahoskinc.com or give us a call at 252-332-3194. Again, that's 252-332-3194 to reserve your room today. All right, welcome back, Sunday Night Music Scene. In case you're just tuning in, you missed the great first segment, so you're going to have to hit rewind on YouTube. Tim and Tony sitting here with Cooper Greer at beautiful Weldon Mills.
What's going on, guys?
Looking forward to hearing you tonight. I'm understanding you're going to just rock it.
That's the plan. They actually made us turn it down last night because we were too loud. There's a restaurant upstairs over the top of the place to play. So then once everything got full, because we reached capacity at like 9:30, and so like there's people getting into it, ready to party. I finally told them, I was like, look guys, I was like, I don't care what we gotta do. I told my sound guy, I was like, turn it up and we're gonna really play out and let's go.
All right.
Like that's my style. Like it's gonna be loud and it's, I always say it's country with a rock and roll attitude. Is how we do it.
Well, I just would say if it's too loud, you're too old.
There you go.
And I ain't too old yet.
And the thing is you gotta take that word for it, because like Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley are 70 now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tim and I went to see them guys just last summer, about this time.
Yeah, about this
And I'm gonna tell you what, they still killed it, man. They rocked that place. They packed that amphitheater. They rocked it.
Of course, $100 million stage set didn't hurt.
Oh my God!
I mean, I've never seen a concert like that.
I'm sure the pyrotechnics were just off the
The
chain.
pyrotechnics, just all the tech. I mean, they had floating screens. They had a huge screen in the back. It was amazing.
That's what I dream of, is like one of these days. That's like, honestly, like money, all that stuff, that'd be cool. But to me, being able to just have a show exactly how I want it, all the stage set up the way I want it, have, because you know, like I want it to be a show. Like I want to do, like I said, country music with a rock and roll attitude. I want my shows to be like a rock show. Like I want it to be loud, I want it to be in your face, and I want it to be a bunch of fire. That just, you know what I mean? That's kind of
everybody likes that, man. You gotta have fog machines, you know, stuff like that. I mean,
we got one down there tonight.
Well, we do theater together.
yeah.
So
The closest thing that Tim and I actually came to that, we were in Rock Pages, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You've probably seen the movie. I don't know if you've ever seen the stage production or not.
Yeah, I've seen stage production.
But I got the privilege of being Stacey Jacks.
The hair.
Oh,
It
That
just
was
did.
awesome. So,
Yeah. He was great. He was great, Stacey.
Singing some of his rock vocals suck though, because that range is just out there. But I was there to build that set,
Mm-hmm.
design that lighting for that, and we had special effects in it, and it was an amazing show.
I blew vape smoke and from a hole in the bathroom, so when he was in the bathroom scene, it looked like smoke was still steaming up the mirrors. I actually played Candy, the transvestite prostitute stripper.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what? Not everyone could have pulled that off.
I was gonna say, I mean, that takes a very specific
It was
set of skills to do
only man in
that.
that show dressed like a woman.
Yes, he's in a drawer somewhere, Candy.
Well, you gotta lose, you gotta move. I mean, what can I say?
I had to dance in this thing, dude. I can't dance. The only thing I can play is the radio. That's why I'm involved in the way I am.
That's how I had the girl ask me one time we come down on stage, she wanted me to dance or something. I was like, look, I was like, I play and sing. That's the reason I play and sing is because I can't dance at all. Like, don't put me on the dance floor. That's not gonna happen.
It was rhythm. I mean, it took a whole lot of choreography rehearsals to pull off what we did.
We were 80 hours a week on that show.
Good grief.
It was, and plus I was after rehearsals still building this show.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you were staying busy then.
Yeah.
I was right with you.
Set designer,
So you stayed later. I mean, I don't know how he did with no sleep for like 2 months.
Yeah, life designer. It took a lot, man. I swear, I lost probably 25 pounds on that show.
All right, so Cooper Greer, what do you got coming up? What's going on?
All right, so coming September 23rd, if everything works out right, things a little crazy with the COVID stuff going on. If everything in the studio works out right, September 23rd, got a new song called Back Around coming out.
Maybe you'll let us debut it.
Yeah, I think I might let these guys debut.
Sure.
And I'm probably going to release a special present attached to that song. So whenever I release that one, y'all check out everything's attached to it. There might be another song in there that I haven't advertised yet. So the only way you're going to know that song's out there is if you actually go, check it out.
2 for 1.
It's a 2-for-1 deal. There you go. I couldn't find the words there for it. That's what I'm looking for.
2 for 1.
It's a 2-pack.
That's right.
Now, Nashville. We recently, Tony and I, well, what's happening, recently made a good relationship with a promotional company down there called National Entertainment Weekly.
Okay.
Jill Sant-Benez. I can send you her information.
Yeah.
Because if you're heading that way.
I'm actually going to be in Tennessee next week.
Oh, okay. Well, reach out to me on Facebook and remind me. I'll send you her contact information.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got a name down there, I can only help.
I think Thursday night I've got a show. It's like an hour outside of Nashville, and then I go back to a place called Maryville, and then another one in Tellico.
How did you get that booking?
Making friends. I bring people out from Nashville to come play with me sometimes, and then
Nice.
because a lot of people in this music industry, they get hungry to the point that they try and they don't want anybody else around. They don't want anybody else to steal their shine or whatever. And for me, it's about building a community of good people to work with me. One of the guys downstairs, he plays for another band. He's running sound for me. One of the guys from another band locally, he comes in, plays guitar with me, and runs sound and stuff. And there's enough out there for all of us.
Right.
It's not got to be cut your throat and stand on top of you and get where you want to go.
Exactly.
I hate that.
I've always said that music shouldn't be about cutting each other's throats.
No. That defeats the whole purpose of it.
The more that you guys work together, there's something to be learned each way.
Mm-hmm. You can always learn something. It's even co-writing. I've always written all my songs myself, and I started co-writing with people via Zoom and stuff over this COVID thing. And it's been a great thing because it opened my eyes to the way that other people write music.
Right.
So I started seeing things through a different set of eyes, and it creates all these different avenues for you to write in a whole new perspective.
True.
Extremely true. Soundboarding is everything. It's the same thing in music, But that's exciting. I can't wait. Nashville. Never been to Nashville. 7100 was supposed to take me to Nashville when they recorded Show Me. Been in Nashville. You doggies.
I've actually never been to Nashville. I've been to Tennessee, but I've never been to Nashville.
It can be a fun town. If you go there, I think the street's called the Lumber Street, and that's a little bit more. You're gonna find the other musicians there. The
Right.
Broadway Strip, you're gonna find the guys that play, and there's nothing wrong with them. I got a lot of friends that play the Broadway Strip or whatever. But then there's you get around there, and it's a lot of the songwriters and stuff like that hang out in the motor room. They don't want to be around the big crowds and stuff. It's a cool place to go. Definitely make some good connections down there. Meet a lot of nice people.
Well, the one thing about Tennessee, that is actually that is the hub of a music for Americana, I would say, because Nashville, Tennessee, you have the capital of this country. The capital of rock and roll, man, Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. I mean,
I'll tell you where else don't sleep on now is Texas. Texas has got a great music scene coming out of there right now.
yeah.
The Texas country scene is blowing up. Now it's past Nashville, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But they kind of allow people to do a little more out of the box kind of things there.
Well,
It's
if
not
you
gotta
think about
be.
what happens in Texas. All right, go to Austin. Austin is an alternative type of city,
Mhm.
big time alternative.
Like Seattle
Oh, yeah.
used to be, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is an alternative city where you would think that these people didn't even fit in Texas,
Mhm.
but they're there.
And then you got the legacy of George Strait and people like that there too. And those two things combined, and it makes you can go to Spotify or Pandora or something like that, put Texas country on a playlist, and listen to the range of things. It don't sound like anything from southern rock to old school Western stuff to George Strait sound stuff, right? I don't know, close to modern stuff and almost regular rock, all in one playlist. And there's such a big. I'm a big fan of Texas country, and I definitely want to try and get down there and play there this next year or two and hang out and see what's going on, because there's just a lot of opportunities that are afforded there that I don't feel like are afforded to me natural musicians, if that makes sense.
I'll tell you a place that used to have a lot of honky tonks back in the 60s and 70s that people wouldn't even see it now.
What's that?
LA.
Really?
Yeah.
So did South Jersey, believe it or
Yeah,
not.
LA actually had these places. LA was not always that Compton kind of.
Guns N' Roses, I Got Your Disease.
Well, the thing is you always had the Sunset Strip that came about. That was for hair metal and hard rock.
Yeah.
But it did have a country scene that a lot of people didn't realize.
Well,
Clint Eastwood's movie, Every Which Way But Loose,
Yes.
he went honky tonk and trying to find that.
And he was in
blonde
LA.
chick.
But I got a lot of family from,
They went clear down to Bakersfield, man.
yeah, I got a lot of family that lives in Bakersfield and, what do you call it, Bucko and Crystal Palace.
Yep.
I mean, there's like, him and Dwight Yoder,
Mm-hmm.
both, that's big California country. I mean,
Yes, sir.
it's all over the place, man.
Yeah, it is everywhere. And then when you get out to places, you've got the western part of the country where people think it's all country, which it's not all country, but it's so many places that country is a prevalent thing. I mean, you go to places clean out in Montana.
Oh, yeah, Montana,
Montana.
Wyoming are just nothing but country music.
Exactly, because that's what people look at. I mean, they still live in that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. I spent a lot of time in Wyoming. One of my best friends, I used to ride, back when I was in the rodeo business, I rode bulls for about 3 years.
Really?
Yeah, bulls and broncs. I rode bulls and broncs for about
That's
3
crazy.
years before I got in the music business.
One of the best times I've had in my life was actually horseback riding in Montana.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and the scenery there,
Oh.
right there along the Yellowstone River.
I can imagine. I
I've
love
not been to
it.
Montana yet, but I know Colorado, Wyoming, those are, Arizona, honestly. Arizona, I highly recommend.
I would love to see Arizona.
Because you can be snow skiing in Flagstaff and drive 2 hours and be in the desert.
Yep.
That's insane to me.
You are making me want to travel. Let's get an RV.
That's where all my extra money goes, to plane tickets. I
Really?
spend all my extra time traveling. If I'm not writing music, I'm traveling.
Good for you. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
26.
It's great. You got a good head on your shoulders. I see we could wrap a whole show around it.
Exactly.
So when it comes
I like
to debut
this guy.
time,
I like the way he thinks, man.
we'll get, where do you live?
I live in Greenville currently. I might be making a move to either Nashville or Wilmington. Either closer to the water or closer to the music scene.
Yeah, then this would be closer, because we can actually get into the Weldon.
So where are you from originally?
Originally, I was born in Missouri.
Okay, but
I went from Missouri to Oklahoma to Arkansas and then to Crestwell, North Carolina, Washington County. And then from Washington County to Hyde County. And Hyde County is home. Like I've lived in Hyde County for most of my life, about 15 years. And then I moved to Greenville in the last 3 years.
so you right around Bellhaven.
Yeah, right around the Bellhaven area.
Yep. I tell you, in my day job, we do a lot of business in that area. My day job, I work from here in African, so
Okay.
we have a lot of business.
Well, actually, my day job, me and a buddy of mine run a company and we do aquatic spraying for the state. So we buy a lot of stuff from here.
Cool. One of my customers right now.
That's right.
Small world.
I probably know salesman sells it to you.
Probably so. We go to, I think it was the Maharan right there in Roper.
Okay, yeah.
Well, Cooper's going on soon, but we're gonna get him back on, and he's gonna have, he'll be with us for a whole show, including a slew of new video debuts. But meanwhile, thank you for being on.
Thank y'all for having me. Enjoy.
Appreciate it, man.
Here's Cooper
I'm gonna
Live.
play y'all a little original tune. This song is one of the most recent ones we've released. It's called Radio. Y'all go check it out on iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you get music going on. You were feeling that it's all my fault. I'm the one that did you wrong. We both know that that's why you're out there looking for the guy or girl. Don't bother me at all. You feel baby you're inside. Let's look at this thing. Oh, it's the only thing to get into my soul. If you feel lost and alone, down on my phone, your telephone, all the time, you're my whole zone. Radio, radio, you're a get mad every time I suppose it. But that ain't no reason to behave. Upside down, stuck in this little nowhere town, and all your friends are into my soul. They couldn't lock it on, down on the telephone, but the only time hear my voice is on radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Warren Myers of Liberty Coins in Franklin, Virginia. The gold and silver market is soaring. If you have valuables to sell, remember, no one pays more than Liberty Coins. Absolutely no one pays more than we do.
Liberty Coins of downtown Franklin, Virginia, located at 217 North Main Street in downtown Franklin. Check them out online at libertycoinsva.com or give them a call at 757-562-7034. Liberty Coins.
Because we're not coming in, I suppose. All right, we're back. So we're back from Friday night when you were watching some video clips of Cooper Greer, and of course we got radio. I can't even do it. But it was good having him on. He's a smart kid.
He is. I like that guy. He's very he shows a lot of intelligence. He's very talented. The guy is he's got class and he's motivated. That's the big thing, motivation. He's got ambition. You know, it's a whole lot of positive words. I just have to think of them to talk about this guy because I really respect him. He's on a path and he's got a plan.
I wish I had a plan when I was that age.
Well, I do too. You know, when I was that age, I was in between marriages, man, and I tell you what, my plan was, where's the next good time? When am I going out and where at?
Oh, so nothing's changed.
Well, I don't know about that. I do have a plan for life, so to say. I mean, at that time, I was making a payment on one vehicle, and I rented a small house, and now I'm fortunate to own two houses and own more than one vehicle, and I've been a business owner in my years. So.
Oh, yeah, I own a 2000 Jeep, two-wheel drive, no air and no heat. Clear title, people, clear title. Now that's success.
Well, clear title, yeah, I got something that's got clear title on it too.
Can't you let me have my moment of fame?
Well, I'll take it. I got a house that's got a clear deed. I like that.
We did until some, unfortunate repairs. Well, we invested in our house, far surpassed what we had.
Well,
old house.
Yeah, well, you invested in it for business purposes, so.
And look how that's going for me now.
Well, nobody foresaw what was going to happen, so the whole thing is like Cooper said, this COVID madness.
I said Friday night, didn't I?
Well, yeah, I mean, we were there. It was
Saturday night.
So
Bruce has got me all screwed up because he said, we're going to try to switch over everything to Saturdays.
And then we've had some Fridays.
And then I'm like, I have no clue what day it is. I told Eric if I got back from OBX in time, I was going to go over and check him out, forgetting that Cooper, who I told I wasn't going to get back in time because I thought it was Friday, it was actually Saturday. So I had to make a decision between Eric, Cooper, and Martin, who was playing with New Band on the Block here in Murfreesboro.
Right.
So I picked Cooper because I didn't see him last time.
Right.
And then when I got home early. I leave early because, to get the production, the videos downloaded. I didn't have to go see Martin. I heard his last two songs right from the porch of the B&B. You know how his vocal range?
Well, yeah, you should be able to hear it slam all the way through Murfreesboro, man.
It did. I was hearing him. His voice was coming in on me. So I'm like, all right. So I got to hear Martin, but I didn't get to see him.
No.
But
Martin will be back at the Mills, man. You know, and then of course, we've kind of been away for a couple of weeks. Had a wedding last weekend.
yes, you married your own son. Well, let me
dude,
take that back. That's how.
Yeah, that's not. I was the minister. I was the officiant.
There's no states you can do that in yet.
Yeah, I was the officiant of my son's wedding. He married his fiancee, a beautiful girl named Caitlin. And
Congratulations.
I am so happy for the two of them. They are off to a great start.
Because they said I do.
Well, they said I do, but I'm saying they're off to a great start already. I mean, already got house, career. They doing great to be in their 20s. I wish that I had all that in place when I was in my 20s.
So here we go again, getting shown up by 20-year-olds.
Well, the thing is, here it goes. At least some of the younger generation has learned from past mistakes that people like us have made and not had that late start in life that so many of us are on now. But it's better late than never. I'll put it that way. Better late than never. It took me a long time to get where I'm at, but I worked for it. Nobody gave it to me. I'm proud of what I got, and I take care of what I have. So I can't complain. Life has been pretty good to me.
Do you get off the beaten path of music? You see Chad Boswick died?
Yeah.
Black Panther?
Yeah, I saw that. That's sad. I didn't realize that he had been fighting colon cancer for 4 years, man. That was just...
I mean, he looked amazing for going through that. I mean, he was, bloom.
Well, some people can put on that brave face, and it's a loss to, the film industry. I mean, the guy I've seen him in several films, and the guy was just an amazing actor. So
He was. Now, I'm going to go a little controversial for a minute because, when I found out he died, I posted on what's happening out there, and I made a comment, oh no, because I loved him as Black Panther. He was a great Black Panther. So I'm reading the comments, and it sickened me because as much as you see comments, I wish Trump's family was dead, this, that, you don't usually want to see politics on an actor that just passed away. Now, I know that he had liberal views. There was pictures of him and Kamala Harris, but you know what? That's besides the point, especially when the man dies.
True.
And the comments sickened me. I mean, I sat down there responding to comments, putting people in their place right and left because, I understand America's split, and I understand there's a lot of anger going on between the two different views. I have it. You have it. A lot of us have it.
Right.
But the man passed away from colon cancer. Why would you put the things on there that I thought it was horrible. So shame on you if you're out there doing that.
And I tell you what else is hateful. Whether or not you're a supporter of Donald Trump as president, his brother passed not long ago, and people were
it was
just
horrible what they were
horrible
saying, yes.
for what they were saying. If you don't like a politician in office, your voice is your vote, okay? There are plenty of politicians that I'd rather not see in office, but do I want to kill them? No, that's just wrong. Don't go out there and say, yeah, I wish they would die horribly or somebody would kill them. That is an extremist point of view. That is not what we are here in this country. We are more civilized than that. We have gotten past that, which I hoped we'd gotten past that. And it's time for people to realize that you don't go expressing your views by taking somebody's life. I mean, taking somebody's life is wrong no matter how you look at it. Yeah, there are plenty of people that, well, if he did this to me, I'd kill him. The thing is, can you live with taking somebody's life? If you're absolutely in defense of your life or your family's, you're going to have to make a tough choice that you're going to have to live with. But in the end, you had to make that decision for the betterment of your family. But it's not like you just you premeditated. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to waste somebody because I don't like their view. That's not how you do it.
Well, it's like you said, these people that are behind social media and behind the computers, they feel that they can be ugly, they can be brave, they can be stupid.
But if you put them out in the real world environment, they would cower in a minute. It's sickening. People, if you have those kind of views, stop. Okay, stop with this crap now. Try to open the channel. Try to open the communications. Let's get back to where we need to be as Americans. Let's be civilized. Let's come to agreements.
Compromise. The
Yes.
cornerstone of civilization,
Compromise.
as Louis L'Amour said in one of his books I read my mom. All right, let's get back on the music, though. But yeah, I'm with you, dude.
Yeah.
I'm with you. It's horrible. I just had to get that off my chest because,
Well, we all do. It's time for people to let's stop the hate.
Stop the hate, or keep it balanced at least.
Well,
Love and hate are just two parts of being human. But
at least keep it civilized.
keep it civilized.
Yeah.
I haven't paid attention to anything mainstream. I traveled up to Jersey on Monday, came back on Tuesday, had a day off on Wednesday, got everything programmed from the radio station, went to OBX, came back on Friday night, and I'm like, ooh, I got jet lag.
Well, you've been busy. As far as mainstream, I really haven't either. And anybody who knows me knows that I'm stuck in the past anyway. If you were to get my car, you're going to find it on Hair Nation or 80s, the big 80s. That's my thing. I'm stuck back in the years that were my memories. And I'm not going to let go of that. I don't have to. It's just like when I used to look at my parents, I'm like, how do you listen to stuff? They were listening to stuff from the 50s and 60s, and I'm like, man, here I am listening to what I had in the 80s. It's funny when you get to that point that you look, it's like, oh my God, I'm turning into them.
My mom was all about Bobby Vinton and Glenn Miller Band, and but because my mom restricted so much of what I was able to see and listen to because of her religion, I would listen to Camptown favorites, and Bobby Vinton, and I had, she allowed me to listen to Olivia Newton-John, and then, now listen, Olivia Newton-John is a gateway drug, because from her I went to Kiss, so,
Well, you got to give Olivia Newton-John's props, man. she made a good Sandy in Grease, man. That's one of my favorite movies. I do like that musical.
When I was riding back from OBX, there was a plethora of choices for radio stations that I've really never heard before.
Yeah.
And out of all the stations, I set it on Bob FM.
Yeah, I listen to Bob.
And I got to tell you, it's still on Bob FM. If I'm not listening to our station, I'm now listening to Bob FM because they were starting to play 80s. Now, I told you, I've skipped the 80s when I was in the military.
Yeah.
So I didn't start to appreciate the 80s until I got out, so I was a late starter. I was listening to all this Tears for Fears, the Bangles
Bob
came
FM
on, and I'm like,
they play a multitude across decades. I've always thought that Bob FM was good. Now, if I'm listening to air radio and not satellite radio, and I'm here local, of course I'm going to be tuned in to 106.9 Fox just because of the classic rock.
Yeah, I listen to that too.
For me, it's funny now. Bon Jovi and even Nirvana is considered classic rock. It's just hilarious. Stone Temple Pilots. It's funny when you look back and it's like, dude, this is not classic rock. When you think classic rock, you're thinking Hendrix.
Foreigner is an oldie.
Right.
Jukebox Hero is an oldie. Come on, people, somebody help me.
Yeah, and then you're thinking about Rush. You think about Black Sabbath. That was classic rock when I was a teenager. So now that's really classic because it's 50 years old, and now we're listening to stuff that in our day, well, my day anyway, as a teenager, that stuff it's over 30 years old. So, but I tell you, it's still to this day. What I love is you see a lot of these young people that the 80s music. These young people. Young musicians that are in their 20s are covering it. They're covering it. They like it. They're covering it. They listen to it. They really like what came from our generations.
Well, there's a lot of unique, innovative flavors. You know, it was the age of there was no genre that dominated. My son, when he learned guitar, he's there doing some old Iron Man from Black Sabbath.
Man, that is a classic riff. Dun, 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 dun,
We could be Beavis and Butthead. You'd be Butthead, though.
You got to do that crap. Hey, look. And Beavis and Butthead does, I don't know if that ruined a generation or if you were mature enough to just see it for what it was entertainment.
I don't know. There's a lot of young adults that actually remind me of Beavis and Butthead, so I'm sure there was an influence.
You know, dude, somebody on Facebook once, I don't know how they even did the makeup, but they took and there were two guys. I'm assuming it was a made-up thing, or either it was CGI created, said if Beavis and Butthead were real people, and good God, it looked just like them, and I'm like, I could see that. I really could. I could see that. And God forbid that there were ever two brain-dead teenagers like that in America. Of course, I'm sure there were, and there probably were some worse, but Beavis and Butthead, man, when that started coming on MTV, yeah, I was an adult, so to me it was just sheer stupidity. It was funny, it was entertaining because it would make you laugh because of the stupidity of it. But then you heard these stories that, boom, somebody blew up their house because Beavis and Butthead were sniffing stove gas trying to get high. I mean, it got ridiculous. And I don't know if there were rumors. I never really saw anything.
It wouldn't surprise me. Look at the kids eating Tide Pods.
Oh, yeah, they eat Tide Pods.
And bath salts.
Yeah, I mean...
And the condom nose thing.
Yeah, they would do something stupid.
Stupid is as stupid does.
I'll tell you.
I want to give a shout out. It popped into my head. ELO, remember ELO, Electrolyte Orchestra? They, talking about 1976, okay, I think ELO was one of the bands that led the revolution of big stage productions. Right. Because I saw ELO in 1979, and they actually had that spaceship that came out, opened up, and just light shined out at you. It was amazing. Sweet Talking Woman.
Right.
It's a living thing. They set the pattern for the future. So, what are you doing?
I was just looking at something that somebody sent me. So, when we hit break, I'll answer it.
Fine. Let's go to break. 50 years of great taste. Godwin's Country Meats in Ahoskie is celebrating its 50th year in business. 50 years of supplying our delicious country-flavored meats and yummy, hard-to-find foods to our wonderful customers and friends, both local and far away. We take pride in our customer satisfaction on taste by country curing the old-fashioned way with real hickory wood and no injections. We are proud of the selection of unique foods such as Dan Doodles, Schoolhouse Pizza, turkey barbecue, alligator, rabbit, frog legs, hoop cheese, and more. Thank you all for 50 wonderful years. Check us out online at godwinscountrymeats.com.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. So where were we? Reminiscing down Nostalgia Lane.
That's right.
You ever see that? There's a site that I follow. It's called Nostalgia, and they'll put an old cord phone on there, or they'll put an old record on there, and do you remember this?
What's so funny talking about the old rotary phones? People try to make fun of millennials about it. They'll look at the phone like, how do you dial with it? Do you press the button? Do you use the pound sign? Where's the hashtag? That to me is hilarious. We grew up with a rotary phone, man. We grew up with party lines.
We did, but think about it. If you've never seen one before, it doesn't make any sense that what else in life do you actually spin to get the number?
Right.
It's like, you're like a 17-year-old girl. I like it. Wow, you're busy, man.
Well,
Shall we just read your text?
We could. I mean, I'm just trying to make lunch plans here, so.
Why, where are you going today?
Well, I'm headed to Gaston Lake.
We recorded this on Sunday morning. That's, yeah.
I'm headed to Gaston Lake for the afternoon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Good friends of ours got a place up there, so we're going to spend the afternoon up there on the lake, and we're just making plans to pick up subs at Jersey Mike's.
Very cool. Who's at Weldon next week?
I'd have to actually look. I can tell you right quick.
Yeah, rip it up. You know who I was listening to, and it's funny how your taste buds can change just like that. I've never been a Def Leppard fan. Okay, you have, though. Their first album I bought, On Through the Night.
Did you say I've never been a Def Leppard?
No, you have. I haven't.
I love Def Leppard, man.
But and it was raw. It was more like a classic rock kind of thing. You know, they had a lot of people like Aerosmith. Younger people think Aerosmith came out with Run DMC, but they were around for 10 years before that. But I was listening to some Def Leppard last night, and I'm like, well, my taste buds are changing. I'm starting to dig them.
Yeah.
It's not too late for me to become Hair Nation. I mean, I may not have the hair for it, but I have the nation.
Hey, look, Hair Nation is, all right, you asked them, redouble it. They're back Saturday, September 5th, which is my birthday.
What, really?
Yes, my birthday.
31.
Yep, 31.
Hard living. That'll do it to you.
Yeah. But, we, I tell you, you talking about Def Leppard. All right, I bought a VHS tape that they put out several years ago called Historia. Do you remember it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it had the first video. Hello America was the first video, and it came off of On Through the Night.
That was from On Through the Night?
Yes. And the thing was, that video was made back in the 70s, and it featured Rick Allen. He was in front on the drums, and the band was behind him. That was what was unique about the way they set him up. And then, of course, the next videos that came out, and they were all recorded from stage performances, came off of High and Dry, and one of them actually was High and Dry. And then the other one that I do remember so well was, hold on, I got to think of, I remember the song, it's playing through my head, I got to remember the name of it right off. Hold on. Too Late for Love.
It's one of the songs I heard the other night. I was listening to that.
And then they actually redone that song when they put it on Pyromania. You know, Pyromania had songs like Photograph. That was the iconic song from that. And then Foolin'.
Good song.
Was a good song that came off of that. And then they really, when Def Leppard, that was when they were taking off. And then they had the accident, Rick Allen had the accident in there where he lost the arm. And then when they came back with Hysteria, they were huge.
Yes.
Hysteria, I saw them when that album had been released. And I'm talking about in the round with the round stage. That was an awesome concert because the stage had like lasers coming out of it, big light show, curtain. I mean, this thing was 360 degrees, man.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Not a lot of bands did in the round.
And Rick Allen's drum set, he was on a rotating pivot right in the center of it where he just kept on a rotation.
Wonder if he got dizzy.
Well, I don't think it actually went that fast.
Well, real slow, but 572,000 times around, you think it would do something to you. Now, there was a song called Wasted on Through the Night. Like, if you listen to Wasted and then you listen to something like, I don't know, any of it, any of their heyday music, you would never identify it was Def Leppard.
True.
It's a very raw song, more my style of song. But, so kudos, Def Leppard, if you're listening. You're not. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Pat Travers Band popped out of my mind. They did an album 1978 or 79 called Crash and Burn. There's a song on there called, oh my God, Hammerhead, and then Heat of the Night. Is it Heat of the Night? But you ever listen to Pat Travers? Blues guitarist turned rocker. for a couple albums and came up with some amazing stuff, sort of like UFO from Britain.
Right.
Back in the day, where most of their music sucked, but that one album with like Only You Can Rock Me
Right.
kicked ass. It's like, you know, it's amazing how some bands come out with one album that you just like, oh my God, and then every other album sucks.
Right.
Like, you just blew it all in one shot?
Well, some people did, you know, and then you had some that, I tell you, I've seen where you had bands that they built to a crowning moment, okay? And I'm going to say this, you know, and this is in my opinion, Def Leppard, all right? Crowning moment, Hysteria. Crowning moment.
Guns N' Roses, Appetite for
Destruction. You know, and the thing is that was, Guns N' Roses, I think, was born out of, what was it? Hollywood Rose or something like that?
Oh, yes, Hollywood Rose.
Yeah.
I have those. I have the actual CD set of their early stuff, which some of Lies was from.
Right.
Like Reckless.
Yeah. Well, the thing is they build to that moment, and then what comes after just doesn't have the horsepower. You know, Def Leppard, they built up. They just kept getting better and better, all right? They went through the night. They hit High and Dry. They hit Pyromania. And, I mean, they were really taking off. And then Hysteria pushed them through the roof. And then the next one, I'm drawing a blank on the name of it.
You got me.
Because I know that it had that song, Let's Get Rocked.
Let's get.
Or
let's
Do You Want to Get Rocked?
Get ready to rock. I don't know.
Yeah, the thing is great album, but it just didn't have the horsepower.
Listen, your cat seems very
Talkative.
perky.
She's vocal.
Because I don't know if you guys were picking up the cat sounds, and you probably thought Tony was just farting and coming out. Meow, meow.
Yeah, okay.
But no, there's the cat that rubs up on the tripod leg seems to be talking to us this
She's
morning.
always got to check us out.
Doggy, it's good to have a fan. One fan is great. Two would be wonderful. Do you know on our YouTube subscribe, we dropped from 199? How does that happen? What would somebody possibly go, oh my God, I hate that. And no, I'm unsubscribing from them guys. What could we have possibly done to have lost that one subscriber?
I got $5. I might know who it is.
Really, who? Oh, you'll have to fill me in later.
Yeah.
Because it's not coming to mind.
Well, I'll tell you.
All right.
Yeah, it's about time we got to wrap up anyway. So
It does. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back at you next week.
Later.